feel like the best move from the trade deadline was D'Angelo Russell being traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think that the Timberwolves got an excellent player in D'Angelo Russell, a young superstar, potentially be a young superstar. I think he's a star player right now. And you pair him with his buddy in Karl-Anthony Towns, and this combination is going to work because D'Angelo Russell can pass the ball, he can shoot the ball, he can attack, get to the rim as well. He needs to do that better, finishing at the rim. But you pair him with Karl-Anthony Towns, that pick and roll can be very dangerous because Karl-Anthony Towns, it can play inside, he can play outside. And Karl-Anthony Towns, to me personally, is the best offensive big man when it comes to just shooting the basketball. In terms of scoring at the three levels and just particularly shooting the basketball, there's no other big man in the league better at shooting the basketball than Karl-Anthony Towns. So I think that combination, that duo, is going to be lethal. And I like the potential of D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns. I also am starting to like the future of the Minnesota Timberwolves. I know that D'Angelo Russell and the trading of D'Angelo Russell from the Golden State Warriors is a key piece for the Minnesota Timberwolves, but I think the most important piece is probably going to be Malik Beasley coming from the Denver Nuggets. This is a guy that most casual fans do not know about, but Malik Beasley is a bucket. Malik Beasley reminds me of kind of like what Monte Ellis would be like if he played in this version of the NBA. He can get to the rim, he's athletic, and he can shoot the three. And I think he's coming from the Denver Nuggets, who really all this time we talk about teams that are really trying to compete at a championship and really trying to go out and win a championship. But if you're trying to compete and win for a championship and compete for a title, Denver, why do you trade Malik Beasley, who's the perfect spark plug off their bench that can provide instant offense from the rip out of the gate? As soon as he touches the floor, this guy is ready to go. But you trade him because you don't want to have to pay him and go over the luxury tax in the offseason, which is understandable. So the Minnesota Timberwolves got Malik Beasley, and he showed out in his first game. He dropped 23 points. He had 6 threes, 6 made threes that game, and he showed the ability to shoot the ball. He showed the ability to get to the rim, and they're kind of like success is really going to rely on him if he can be that third scoring option and be that player that when D'Angelo Russell can't get it going or Karl-Anthony Towns is struggling, can he be that third player that can basically lead their offense and help run their offense when those guys are struggling? So I think Malik Beasley is a missing lacuna. I feel like he's going to have to play a vital role. And if he doesn't basically become this Monte Ellis version for the Minnesota Timberwolves while he's going to start, and he's going to get about 15 shots per game, then the trade for D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns is basically the same thing of Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton in the Phoenix. That's basically what their team would be like, and they're going to struggle in the West, and they're going to keep missing the playoffs if Malik Beasley doesn't showcase his talent, showcase his potential. I think he is. I think he's in a fresh new start. He's going to start with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and like I said, he's going to get the shots, and I think his game is going to translate really well being paired next to D'Angelo Russell and also being with Karl-Anthony Towns as well. And then they have Jared Culver, the Texas Tech shooting guard. This is his rookie season. He's 6'6". He can play the two guard spot. He's probably going to get moved to the three on the floor with Malik Beasley and D'Angelo Russell at the one. And if he can start showing that he has his potential, start reaching some of his potential, start showing some of his talent, he can create his own shot. He's a little inconsistent right now, but that's expected because he's a rookie. But the talent is there from him as well. Then the Minnesota Timberwolves could have something special. But like I said, anytime you're dealing with young guys, you got to kind of wait for them to develop. D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns are proven stars in this league. So it's really going to be up to guys like Jared Culver. It's really going to be up to guys like Malik Beasley to help these guys reach the playoffs, and kind of they have to accelerate their process, accelerate their growth for the Minnesota Timberwolves to ultimately be a playoff contender team. And if they do that, then possibly, I don't know if Devin Booker is going to want to join the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know if Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell are going to want to stay in Minnesota for their entire careers. But if the Minnesota Timberwolves can get better and can make the playoffs, and then once Devin Booker gets upset or ready to go, once he requests a trade or he waits till his contract runs out, then he possibly can sign with the Minnesota Timberwolves, or they can possibly trade for Devin Booker, especially Malik Beasley becomes this type of player that I think he can become, and also Jared can showcase his talent, then possibly the Minnesota Timberwolves can get a big three of D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns and probably swap out Malik Beasley and Jared in the first round pick for Devin Booker. Now, I know this is kind of like wishful thinking, but I really believe that Malik Beasley is really vital for the success, the initial success of the Minnesota Timberwolves that's going to come if they're going to be successful, and potentially the future if they want to go out and kind of get a player or even possibly sign a player like Devin Booker to Minnesota. So I really like to trade for D'Angelo Russell for Andrew Wiggins. I think Andrew Wiggins needs a fresh new start with the Golden State Warriors. I think he's going to excel over there, being in a better culture, being around better superstar players. And I think D'Angelo Russell and the pairing of Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be great if Malik Beasley showcases his talent and shows that he can be the modern day version of Monte Ellis, and also if Jared Culver starts to develop his game and starts showing his potential.